Yeah, yeah. Okay, no problem.
All right, well, good evening, football fans. We welcome everybody into another exciting season of high school football broadcasting for your Hamilton Southeastern Royals here on AudioSportsOnline.com. I'm Rob Kendall. Our play-by-play announcer for the evening is Lex Zorn. He'll be with us in just a moment. But we do welcome everybody into another exciting season of Hamilton Southeastern football. Should be a great year. It's a great evening here at IU Health Field as your Hamilton Southeastern Royals kick off the campaign against Hamilton County rival the Carmel Greyhounds. Stands beginning to fill up, everybody in full force, and it should be an exciting, beautiful evening for Hamilton County High School football. And at this time, we do welcome in our play-by-play announcer, Lex Zorn. Lex, how are you?
Oh, I'm great, thanks. It's great to be back here on Audio Sports Online for my fourth season of high school football commentary. And what a great day for a season opening game. It's almost perfect weather, 77 degrees under a mostly clear sky. We have several thousand fans already here on the Hamilton Southeastern side of the field and several hundred from Carmel. These two schools separated only by 14 miles here in Hamilton County. And, you know, Rob, it's great to see that these two schools have renewed their regular season rivalry. For several years it wasn't possible because both the Metropolitan Interscholastic Conference, the Mighty Mick, which Carmel plays in, and the Hoosier Crossroads Conference, which Hamilton Southeastern plays in, were 10-team leagues where everybody played everybody. But now that both conferences have contracted in recent years, it's reopened the doors for a lot of great regional rivalries like this one.
Yeah, we do want to thank all of our friends here at Hamilton Southeastern. I believe this is our 6th year now of broadcasting the Royals, and we are so excited to be back here. Special thanks to Scott May. Special thanks to all of our friends at the Booster Club for Hamilton Southeastern, this marvelous football field. And we will have a minimum of 10 games for Hamilton Southeastern this year. We will have all 9 regular season, 1 postseason at least, and we hope many, many more postseason contests coming up this year. Some of our games will be video, some will be audio only. That will depend on whether we do have an internet connection or not at the facility. But tonight, and for all of our home games, they will be video broadcast. And boy, Stephen, I'll tell you what, it's a great evening. And I'll tell you what, 2 just premier programs just shaking out tonight.
Well, that's right. You know, Carmel, not only one of the premier programs in America, but in the entire country. And, 7 state championships, 6 times losing the championship game. And then Hamilton Southeastern. And at that, we will pause for the national anthem.
right, our national anthem, and Leck, take it away.
All right, well, Hamilton Southeastern enters the 2015 season with high hopes. Last season, the Royals went a disappointing 4-6 with a relatively young team. That was their first losing season in the 8-year tenure of head coach Scott May. However, this year, the Royals returned the bulk of their starters. Now most of their starters are juniors and seniors. And keep in mind that even with the disappointing record last year, they were very competitive against their two toughest opponents. They lost only 14-7 to these very Greyhounds, who ended up losing the Class 6A state championship game, and they lost only 31-17 to Cathedral, who won the Class 5A championship and this year moves up to Class 6A. Now, last year, Hamilton Southeastern rushed 331 times and passed 241, a ratio of 1.4 to 1. Returning as their starting quarterback is senior Carter Pori, who last season completed 94 of 180 passes, 52.2%, for 1,045 yards, 7 touchdowns, and 8 interceptions. His leading returning receiver is fellow senior Will Coudray, who last season had 20 receptions for 263 yards and a touchdown. The Royals' leading returning rusher is senior Aaron Matteo, who last season had 179 rushes for 941 yards and 4 touchdowns. He accounted for 60% of his team's yards on the ground. Now, as I said, Hamilton Southeastern's opponent tonight are the mighty Carmel Greyhounds, one of the marquee programs not only in Indiana but in the entire country. The Greyhounds have won 7 state championships, lost 6 state championship games in addition to that. They most recently won the state championship in 2011 while losing the championship game the last 2 years. Last season, the Greyhounds rushed 677 times and passed only 141, a ratio of 4.8 to 1. Now, they lost several starters from that team to graduation, including their top 3 rushers, all of whom are now playing collegiately. Isaac James at IU, Chris Perkins at Southern Illinois, and Shakir Pascal at the University of Indianapolis. But Carmel returns option quarterback extraordinaire Michael Victrup, a senior who recently committed to play at the Air Force Academy. He's the team's leading returning rusher, having rushed 83 times for 571 yards and 7 touchdowns last season. Through the air, he completed 61 of 100 passes. That's an even 61% for 633 yards, 6 touchdowns, and 3 interceptions. His leading returning receivers are now both juniors. Last season, Jalen Walker had 22 receptions for 211 yards and 3 touchdowns, while Ethan Merriweather had 17 receptions for 229 yards and 3 touchdowns. So, the two teams, Carmel has taken the field. Now we're waiting for the arrival of Hamilton Southeastern. They have a big inflatable Royals helmet set up. That's adjacent to the locker rooms, and I'm sure they'll be making a dramatic entrance at any moment. In the meantime, let's take a look at what else is going on here in Indiana high school football tonight. We have a full slate of games here in this opening night. And wait, here we got the Royals making a Royal-type entrance here to a rousing ovation. You know, we got about, I'd say, 4,000 to 5,000 fans here on the Hamilton Southeastern side of the field. It's so good to see so many lovely people out here tonight. We would especially like to welcome all the representatives of Indiana's law enforcement community who have chosen to join us at IU Health Field at this time. We certainly hope you enjoy the game, and please remember that no matter who you are and what you do to live, drive, and survive, there are still some things that make us all the same. You, me, them, everybody. Everybody. Well, let's before we have the opening kickoff here, let's take a look to see what else is going on here in the state tonight among top 10 teams. Number 1, Ben Davis, is visiting Arsenal Tech. Number 2, Carmel, obviously here at Hamilton Southeastern. Number 3, Center Grove visits their MIC rival, Warren Central. Tied at number 3 is Penn, who visits Valparaiso. Number 5, Warren Central, as I just said, hosting Center Grove. Number 6, Avon, hosting Plainfield. Our buddy Brian Scott's on the call there. I think he was going to be joined by J.P. Sinclair tonight. Avon and Plainfield, 2 of the other Audio Sports Online schools. Number 7, Indianapolis Cathedral, making their debut in Class 6A after winning the last 2 5A state championships. They are visiting Lawrence Central. Number 8, Fishers, Hamilton Southeastern's cross-city rival, is hosting North Central, another MIC rival. number 9 Southport, one of the rising stars in the last few years, is hosting Indianapolis Roncalli, longtime lower division power. And number 10 Fort Wayne Carroll is visiting cross-city rival Fort Wayne Northrop.
Well, both teams now out on the field. Hamilton Southeastern, they will wear the home blue uniforms, gray helmets, gray numbers. Carmel will be the visitors. They will wear road whites, blue letters and numbers, and those traditional Carmel gold helmets. So it should be a very interesting evening as both teams getting ready to come to the center of the field for the coin toss to begin tonight's game. If you are just joining us, I'm Rob Kendall. Our play-by-play announcer for the evening is Lex Zorn, and we are very excited that you have decided to join us for Hamilton Southeastern varsity football right here on AudioSportsOnline.com.
And now we have the 4 captains for each team, in the pregame handshake and coin toss. Joining them, of course, is the 2 starting quarterbacks, Carter Pori for Hamilton Southeastern and Michael Victrup for Carmel, both seniors and both the multi-year starters, and hoping for a banner season as they head off to college. Victrup already committed to the Air Force Academy, and with their long history of great option quarterbacks, he'll certainly fit right in there. So, but if Hamilton Southeastern can pull off this upset tonight, that'll be a sure sign that the program has turned a corner and is ready to get back to its perennial powerhouse ways coming off an off season.
Well, and obviously, as you talked about, we talked with Coach May on the Coaches Show, which you can check that out anytime. We do the Coaches Show every Monday with head coach Scott May. He talked about bouncing back, and they're in unfamiliar territory. That record last year, not at all indicative of what Hamilton Southeastern has produced over the years. Obviously, state championship and multiple every year. It seems like they are in the conversation about who will contend for a state title. And one of the things that I'm sure you noticed this, Leck, we do games all over the state. We do games from all sorts of sizes and conferences as both teams come onto the field.
Yeah.
Full rosters for both of these teams, massive rosters.
Oh, yeah, exactly. And, another factor to remember that that the Fishers High School District was carved out of the Hamilton Southeastern District, so you can only imagine what the Royals would have done the last few years had that split not taken place.
So the Greyhounds will kick off. Your Royals will receive the football. Ball will be placed on the 40-yard line, as that's where they put it in high school sports. Don't forget, if the ball does go into the end zone or is caught in the end zone, it is an automatic touchback.
Nick Stacy is the place kicker for the Greyhounds. Back deep to receive for the Royals. Let's see, I can't tell from my vantage point, sorry to say. But anyway, it's a deep kick. It's going to be very close to the end zone, and it's fielded at the 1, brought up to the 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, finds a hole, and he gets up to about the 26. So a solid return to start the game there for, that was Curtis Goss for the Royals. And now we'll get our first look of the season at the Royals offense. Carter Pori had not a great junior season, but certainly a solid senior season, and he's hoping for big things now as a senior.
Well, it's interesting. It looked like he may have actually put a foot in the end zone when he caught that ball. The official was not looking down, and an additional 5 or 6 yards there for the Royals on that return. Yeah,
I think you're right about that. It was really close. So anyway, we got Wilford Ray to the right, Wilford Ray to the left, Greg Miller to the right. Pori starting the game under shotgun with 2 running backs, slow snap, but he still gets it, and he hands off, and we got a short run up the middle for maybe 1 yard. I could not tell. I believe that was Curtis Goss fresh off that kickoff return. So they'll bring up 2nd and long here.
Well, and one of the important things is the Royals will work out of the shotgun here on 2nd down. 3 receivers wide to the left, 1 to the right.
They give him credit for 2. A high snap, and he passes, and it's complete out to the screen pass out to the left side, but he's brought down for little gain, maybe even a short loss.
One of the things that's going to be important, and as I was going to say, Leck, is Southeastern controlling the clock, controlling the ball, and keeping Carmel off the field. And now quickly the Royals will come back into a no-huddle offense, 3 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Snap, leans ahead, and a short gain.
So it'll be 3 and out to start off the season. Disappointing.
Now we should tell our audience, if you hear voices in the background, there is a TV station and a radio station all around us. So if we were playing checkers, we would have to concede. We are surrounded by announcers.
So now we've got Carmel in punting formation. Jalen Walker back deep to return for the Greyhounds, excuse me, and it takes a short Hamilton Southeastern bounce and is down at the 38. So disappointing way to start off the season on offense for the Royals, but we'll see if the defense holds it.
Again, I'm Rob Kendall. Your play-by-play announcer for the evening is Lex Zorn. If you're just joining us, 10:27 remaining to play in the first quarter. The Hamilton Southeastern Royals and the Carmel Greyhounds battling in the season opener tonight from IU Health Field.
So now we got their first look of the season at Michael Victrup and the rest of the Carmel offense. Lining up, surprisingly, only one running back. He's got three receivers to the right, one to the left. Carmel is not a heavy passing team at all. Victrup is a pure option quarterback. Takes the snap, looks back, throws up the middle, and it is incomplete through the hands of, who was that? That was Jalen Walker, their top returner from last season, their top returning receiver from last season.
Lucky for the Greyhounds, that ball was not intercepted. It certainly could have been, as that ball was tipped up in the air. Anybody's ball. It fell harmlessly for the Greyhounds, and a nice job by Southeastern on first down.
So now Walker lines up to the left, and Merriweather to the right, while Victrup is in shotgun. Two running backs. Now it takes it, and we got a flag here, and it's going against the Greyhounds. So that'll bring up second. Let's see. So it's a 5-yard penalty. That'll bring up 2nd and 15 at the 33 of Carmel.
10:23 to play in the first quarter.
So now two receivers to each side, one running back. Victrup in shotgun again. So now we got a couple of officials. I didn't see any official timeout signaled for, but we got a couple of officials deliberating over something now. And it looks like we got a member of the Hamilton Southeastern staff discussing something with another one of the officials. So if you're just joining us, 10:23 to go here in Fishers. We have the host teams, Hamilton Southeastern, scoreless with their cross-county rival, the Carmel Greyhounds. 7-time state champions, enter the season ranked number 2. So we've got Ethan Merriweather lined up to the left, along with Jalen Walker, two receivers to the right, one running back, Victrup in shotgun. It's a low snap, but he gets it. Screen pass out to the right, it's completed, brought up to the 35. But no further, he goes back around, and he's got running room, and he gets up past the 40. What a great second effort there by Tobias Watkins. He's a senior and ended up making something out of nothing there.
Yeah, he just hit the nail on the head there, Leck. That was a great second effort. They had him stopped for a gain of maybe 2 yards, just bounce off that tackle and took it all the way up to the 41-yard line, brings up a big third down for Carmel.
Yeah, 11 yards there on the reception by Tobias Walker.
7 to go on third down.
So now Victrup takes it. Drops back. He throws deep on the right side, and it is just overthrown. Boy, just, a little less steam on that ball, and it could have been caught for a huge gain. So, 3 and out to start the season for the Greyhounds as well, and the Royals defense, after giving up 11 on that play, on that last play, end up with no harm.
So now the Royals will receive the punt.
So now it's a high punt. It's no fair catch called for. Picked up at the 23. He runs over to the right side of the field, up to the 25, finds a hole, up to the 30, up to about the 32. So it's a decent return there by that was Brock Burns there for the Royals, and now the Royals offense will get another chance.
Well, he just hit the nail on the head once again. Stephen, another opportunity after coming out of the gate a little sluggish there on that first drive. We will see now what Hamilton Southeastern can do on their second offensive possession.
Yeah, sorry. So Pori in shotgun, one running back, two receivers to the left. I believe that's Aaron Matteo there is the running back. A fake stand up to running back, and he's got a pass up the middle, perfectly thrown, but it was dropped there by Matt Klink. He's a junior tight end. So, one thing, Rob, that struck me about that first Carmel possession, Victrup, 3 plays, 3 passes. He's not a guy who passes a lot either, only 100 last season. So it's a surprising way for the Greyhounds to start off. And we got a flag. There was some movement on the line.
Yeah, they're going to get Carmel, number 16 for the Greyhounds, coming across the line. I don't know if he was coming in on a blitz or what that might have been, but he was. He's coming up from the linebacker position and was caught off guard there.
So nice break for the Royals. You know, one thing that really hurt them last year, they got into a lot of 3rd and longs. They're trying to curb that this season. So now 2 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Mattio, the lone running back. They got a pass over to the left side. It's too low, though. The intended receiver was Aaron Mattio, who was the team's leading rusher last season, got just under 1,000 yards as a junior. Hoping for an explosive senior season. Should be a decent college prospect. So that'll bring us up to 3rd and 5 at the 36. Crucial play for the Royals here. 9:54 to go in the first quarter. Second possession. No first downs yet by either team. And now we got the play whistle dead right after the snap.
And that's usually in the area of a false start. It was, and that will move the Royals back 5 yards. So that 5 that they gained on the Carmel offsides now pushes them back to 3rd and long.
So, another dreaded 3rd and long for the Royals. And, last year I covered their tournament loss to Fishers 21-0. And one thing that killed them, they were in third and long nearly the whole game and never pulled out of that rut. So now Pori takes it, screen pass completed, but he's brought down for a slight loss.
Well, and the Greyhounds, at least early on, are totally controlling the line of scrimmage with just those four down linemen, and it's enabling them to drop those secondary and linebackers back to the point where there's nothing open down the field. They've got to get rid of the ball quick, and they are quick to the football, which is why it's been 2 3-and-outs for the Royals.
Yeah, so Mattio getting a -1 on that reception. And now we got another punt there for the Royals. And it was caught at the 39, brought up to the 45. He's got some room on the left, now cuts into the middle, and he stopped just short of the 50.
Well, there was a big block in the back that was missed there that time.
So that was a nice return there by Jalen Walker, also star receiver for the Greyhounds.
So that was a case where both teams were lucky on that play. That ball was nearly blocked by the Greyhounds, and then the Greyhounds did not get called for that block in the back on their return. So both sides getting out of there a little bit ahead of the game, per se, and Carmel will start with the ball at the 49-yard line.
So now Victor, 2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left, in shotgun, 2 running backs. He gets it, and he hands off, but he's brought down for a loss. Great job. They stuffed him. That was Tobias Watkins, and he might have gotten back to the line of scrimmage, but that would have been it.
Nice job by the Royals that time, and just as we said, Carmel had done, the Royals also controlling that line of scrimmage there early on in this one.
So they credit Watkins -2 there on his first carry of the game. So now Victor takes it, hands to Walker in motion, and he's tripped up. He gets maybe back to the original line of scrimmage, maybe one more. So Hamilton Southeastern's defense, overall a very promising start to this season, especially coming against such a marquee opponent.
Walker does a nice job, Leck, as I'm sure you've seen early on, of staying on his feet, even when he's tripped up or hit, as it happened earlier, able to get extra yards after the contact.
Yes, indeed. And so now 3rd and long, and now he goes deep on the left side. He's got a man. Did he get it? No. There was nearly a brilliant catch there by Ethan Merriweather. But as it is, 2 consecutive 3rd and 3-and-outs for Carmel. That's a great confidence builder for this Royals defense.
Had it, went down, rolled over, still had it. and incomplete. Score, Hoosier Crossroads Conference score, Pike leading Brownsburg 7-0 early in that one. If you're keeping track of the Hoosier Crossroads Conference standings at this point, though, you may have an issue.
So it's fair catch there at the 15 there. So now the Royals will get their third chance on offense. Still no score here in the first quarter, 7:48 to go. This game being brought to you free of commercial interruption, we're glad to say.
Yes, by the lovely Booster Club here at Hamilton Southeastern. They are great. They are awesome. Special
yes,
thanks
they are.
To Sarah and all the folks over there have done a great job. Avon leading Plainfield 7-0. And I guess I should point out, neither the Brownsburg nor Plainfield game is a Hoosier Crossroads Conference game, so it doesn't really matter.
Well, it's an Audio Sports Online game. That's enough for me.
There you go.
So now Pori in shotgun. He's got one receiver to the left. And we've got we got a flag here. Play whistle dead.
Those officials, I think, forgot they're supposed to throw a flag when somebody stands up on the line of scrimmage. And it was almost very Leslie Nielsen-esque.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah, classic scene from The Naked Gun.
So a false start is the call. It's on the Royals. That will move them back 5 yards. And that is the second false start penalty of the ball game for Hamilton Southeastern. It'll bring up a 1st and 15, 7:46 to play in the first quarter, no score.
So now 1st and 15 for the Royals. Back at 7:46 to go here in the first quarter. Pori back in shotgun. And I think we have Matteo there in the backfield. And he was the bulk of the team's offense last season. We got a screen pass completed, and it's going to be close to a first down there. And that was Greg Miller there on the reception, their top returning receiver from last season. They give him credit for 12. So that's Pori's, and then on the and now there he's brought down for a loss.
Well, Hamilton Southeastern appears content, at least early on, as we talked about. No big play attempts. Try to control the ball, not turn the ball over, eat the clock, and it will bring up a big third down conversion here, Steve. Leck.
Yeah, so now Pori in shotgun after a no gain there on that last play. And he looks over to the sideline, perhaps for instructions. Are they going to take a timeout here?
That's a really bunched formation.
Could you tell who had the ball in the last reception? No, it was high snap. And a screen pass, but a miscommunication, and it is incomplete.
They had a man open there on the far side of the field. It looks like coming off there that was number 4 for Will Codre for the Royals. He was open. He had the first down, but unfortunately an off-target pass, and the punt team will come back out again for Hamilton Southeastern.
So did you see who who carried the ball in the last play for the Royals?
I did not. I was behind the camera. I had my assigned camera duty in full force.
Yeah. All right. Well, now we got the 5 consecutive 3-and-outs to start this game. Not the way what we expect to see, although they only played to 14-7 last year. And now they takes a slight Carmel bounce before being downed at the 49 of Carmel. So still no score here nearly midway into this first quarter in this season opening game.
6:38 to play, first quarter, no score from IU Health Field as your Hamilton Southeastern Royals opening up the 2015 campaign at home against Carmel Greyhounds. I'm Rob Kendall. Your play-by-play announcer for the evening is Lex Zorn. And Leck, it'll be 1st and 10 for the Greyhounds at their own 49.
So Meriwether comes out and lines up to the left for the Greyhounds. Well, Victor gets in shotgun with 2 running backs. And once again, now he's got a handoff there to Walker, who breaks through several tackles and gets close to the first down, well past the 45.
I tell you what, Walker is a load to take down. He is very strong, and he keeps his legs moving after contact.
Yes, he does. And, he's hoping for a big breakthrough season. He played in the shadow of several rushers last year, so he's hoping to shine and get some scholarship offers this season. So now Victor up in shotgun.
Oh, there was movement. No call. That is just – and Walker's going to be stopped short of the first down, but that is just awful officiating. The guy in the backfield starts running towards the line of scrimmage and no call, and that's a big 5 yards that will not be tacked on against the Greyhounds. Nice job by the Royals defense. Brings up a 3rd and short.
Yeah, so it's a
3rd down and 2, ball on the 44. They need to get to the 41. I'm sorry, the ball's at the 43.
And now he's got to fake. Victrup his first rush of the game, but he's brought down for the loss.
Well, that was a great job by the end for the Royals to stay at home, flush him outside of the pocket. He had to go backwards in order to do that, and he did not win the foot race. Great job by the Southeastern line that time.
Yeah, so yeah, Victrup, he's the team's leading returning rusher. Averaged, he got over 500 yards on the ground last year, 7 a carry. He's headed for Air Force, but he was stopped dead in his tracks there, actually brought down for a loss of 1. So now a deep punt, fair catch called for at the 10, and he makes it.
You got to give a lot of credit to this punt return team for the Royals. They've done a nice job of receiving the ball, not turning it over.
Yeah, so, 3 possessions for each team, nothing but 3 and outs, 4:48 to go now, first quarter.
Center Grove leading Warren Central 7-0 early in that one. Special thanks to Dad for doing a great job on the Twitter feed tonight.
Indeed.
You always need a good man monitoring the Twitter feed.
Yes, you do. And, so I'll tell you one thing now as Pori, pitch back, and he's brought down immediately. What a hit.
That was a great job to hang on to the football that time, Leck. Boy, that could have been disaster. Great hit by Carmel.
It could have done. Yeah, Mattio's a tough kid. He had counted for, as I said in the pregame, Aaron Mattio 60% of their rushing offense last season. And he gets some loss of 4 there, but he did hold onto the ball. So now Mattio gets the reception there, but very little yardage.
And now a 3rd down opportunity.
Yeah, and so now we got 3 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. And now Pori in shotgun. He's got to pass up the middle, and it's is it intercepted?
Nope, incomplete. Boy, that was danger written all over it. He had the man open. Carmel secondary closing in that time. The ball was tipped up in the air, and thankfully for the Royals, that ball fell under the arms of the Carmel secondary member who leaped out for it.
There's a crafty play sending their leading rusher deep for a pass. And, and it was very well thrown, but, Mattio tipped it, and I was surprised that it wasn't intercepted. So, anyway, another 3 and out and another punt for the and now with Carmel's deep man well into Hamilton Southeastern territory. It bounces at the 30, although it takes a great Hamilton Southeastern bounce, and it's going to be down to close to the 50, about the 46. So a little bit of a break there, but nevertheless, the Greyhounds take over with excellent field position.
I want to point out that the Carmel Student Radio, who is right behind us, they are much better dressed than we are. I'm glad Southeastern does not make us dress like they do. They're in suits and ties.
Yep. Well, what can you say? I mean, if I were on TV, I would, but, when you're only on radio, it's audio only. You don't think too much about that, but
I would not be in this industry if I had to wear a suit and tie everywhere I went. That's for sure.
Yeah, I know. I don't blame you. I wear a suit about once or twice a year. So now Victrup in shotgun. He's lined up all game. Surprisingly, only rushed once. And now he looks deep, and he's got a hole in the middle, and he dodges a couple of tackles, but he ends up getting a short gain, maybe 1 or 2.
Southeastern and Carmel, both of their lines have done a nice job of collapsing around the ball carrier, in this case the quarterback, once they hit that line of scrimmage. And a good job that time. What looked like some open yardage gain, as you said, only a yard, and it'll bring up 2nd and 9, 3:10 to play, first quarter, no score.
So Victrup only 2 carries, a net gain of 0 yards, but I'm sure that'll improve as the game goes on. He takes a shotgun, fakes a pass and hands off now. I can't tell who got it, but he's up the middle for about 2 or 3.
It'll bring up 3rd down.
So that's Watkins, the ball carrier again. They give him credit for 2.
2:35 and counting. Clock moving.
So now Victrup on 3rd and long. No first downs yet in the game. He drops back. He looks deep. He's got plenty of time. He's got a man open. It's complete just shy of the 40. He goes around. He's got the first down and more out of bounds near the 30. That was Ethan Merriweather with his second reception of the game. No, his first reception of the game, excuse me.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but that is the first down of the ball game?
Indeed it is, yes.
So it comes with 2:16 to play in the first quarter. Clock stops as the ball goes out of bounds.
That's right. So now another Watkins again up the middle. This time he gets about 5. I believe that's his longest of the game so far.
Well, if you're Hamilton Southeastern, you'd have to say mission accomplished from the standpoint of they have held the score tied, and we're almost through the first quarter, and I know they definitely wanted to make sure they hung around in this one and had an opportunity to win it at the end.
Yes, definitely. And, last year the Royals did play very good defense, but they really struggled to get a lot going on offense. And with a lot of seniors in the starting lineup this year, they're hoping to change that. But Victrup with the hand up to who was that? That was Watkins again. And he got up to about the 25, so he's going to be a little short. It'll bring up 3rd and short for the Greyhounds. 1:27 to go and counting now here in this first quarter at Hamilton Southeastern. Got the stands almost full. And we've had a lot of fans who filed in. A lot of fans who filed in on the Carmel side too. Their visiting stand is fairly full now, and fans still getting in. From that bad traffic here. So now Victrup, he's under pressure. But he got a man open near the end zone, and it's caught. And we've got a touchdown here. So Michael Victrup, 6 passing touchdowns last season. And he's got his first of this season. That was Nathan Melchi, a tight end. And so that's a 25-yard completion there from Michael Victrup to open the scoring with 53.9 seconds to go here in the first quarter here at Hamilton Southeastern.
Well, that was a nice job by the Carmel quarterback, fleeing out of the pocket, avoiding tacklers, and when you got the defense sort of out of sorts there, man got behind the coverage, and they give him credit. He connected. Snap, spot, kick is up. Kick is good.
Yes, it was.
And with 54 seconds to play in the first quarter, it is 7-0 in favor of the Carmel Greyhounds.
Well, it was a hard fought. It took 8 possessions overall, 4 from each team before we finally got a score, and it came in a big way. Michael Victrup, who's not, a guy who throws a lot, but he does have a solid arm. He is capable of throwing deep. He just doesn't do it a lot. But he had a man right open there, senior tight end Nathan Melchi, and I believe that's the first touchdown of his career. I'll have to look that up. But nevertheless, great play there by the Greyhounds.
Well, Brownsburg now behind 14-0. A fumble there led to another Pike score. So in the Hoosier Crossroads Conference schools and the schools that we cover, Brownsburg now behind 14-0. And this is really a pivotal year for the Bulldogs. They have 2 of the premier players in the state, Leck, and
Akron Abate, and who's the other?
The quarterback.
Oh, Hunter Johnson.
Yes.
Yeah, I called a game of theirs 2 years ago when he was when Johnson was starting as a freshman, and then last year when I commentated him as a sophomore, he looked like he had improved 2 years. So yeah, he's going to keep getting better, and having been thrown into the fire like that is going to end up paying off. So now he got a squib kick, but takes a fielded, near the 10, brought up to the 20, 25, got a hole on the right side up to the 30. So nice return there by Curtis Goss, about a 20-yard return there.
Well, and it goes without saying with both of these programs, couple early penalties. Those are probably nerves, first game of the year, but they just are very fundamentally sound. They don't turn the ball over a whole lot. They're not going to make a lot of silly mistakes. Two very well-coached teams, great programs. And you see right there, even when that ball was squibbed on the ground, the Southeastern return man took his time, secured the football, and then made a nice return up to the 30.
Yes, so now we'll see if they capitalize on that momentum and get something going on offense here. No first downs yet for the Royals. And now hand off to Matteo right off the snap. And he got a decent gain there, about 4 up the middle. No, excuse me, I apologize. That was Cici, excuse me. So they give Cici credit for 4 now, and now he gets. They give it. No, they fake it. Who was that? Was that Matteo who got it? I couldn't tell. So many guys clustered together. And that was Will Michaelis, excuse me. So he's brought down, I guess, for no loss. And that's the end of the first quarter. So we head to the second quarter here in Fishers with your Hamilton Southeastern Royals trailing the second-ranked Carmel Greyhounds by a score of 7-0 here on AudioSportsOnline.com. I'm Lex Zorn, joined by Rob Kendall. The only scoring so far came late in the first quarter when Air Force-bound quarterback Michael Victrup threw a 25-yard pass to Nathan Melchi, and Nick Stacy's extra point brought us to our current score of 7-0. And so now the teams, huddle around the sideline for further instructions. But nevertheless, if you're Hamilton Southeastern, obviously you want to get some offense going, but at the same time, when you're only down by when you go to the second quarter against Carmel and you're only down by 7, it's still a one-possession game. You got to feel pretty good. You played generally good defense, and what you just have to avoid now is all these third and longs. That was their Achilles heel last year, and certainly they want to get over that hump this year. So now 3rd and 6, a third and semi-long. We got Pori lined up in shotgun with 3 receivers. So now Pori gets it shut, and he's got. Was it completed? I couldn't tell. It looked like he had it and dropped it.
Yeah, I think they're going to give it to him though, based on where they're spotting the football. Boy, I think if we had replay, that might not stand up. But
yeah, that was just. So now it's 4th and 1. So they're a risky play there by Scott May. 4th and 1. They got a quarterback sneak, and I think Pori got it. Yes, he did. Boy, they gave him credit for 2 there. So now 1st and 10 at the 41, the first down for the Royals all game, and we got a bad pass there. Miscommunication. It looked to me like Cordray just tripped there and ended up going out of bounds harmlessly to bring up a 2nd and 10. So now Pori in shotgun here. We got Cordray out to the left. And Matteo, I believe Cici is. Matteo's the running back. And now we got Michaelis lined up to the left. Can't tell who's lined up to the right, but he now gives it to, and it's going to be brought down, it looks like, for a loss. I don't know, and actually newly into the game, that's Alec Jessup. He's a junior with his first carry of the game. We'll give him credit for -1. Bringing up another dreaded 3rd and long. So now a high snap, but Pori gets it down. He looks, and he's in danger, but he dodges it. He's got running room. He gets the first up to the 50 and up to almost to the 45. We got a late flag, so we'll see if it counts or not. If it does, that'll be the first time all game that the Royals have gotten into Greyhound territory.
Well, that was some awesome running that time, Leck. He just got out of the pocket there, kept his composure, and knew right where he needed to get.
Yeah, barely avoided a sack, so that's a great play there by Carter Pori, hoping for a banner senior season. But we're still waiting for word on what the penalty is. Be ashamed to see that great run there by Pori wiped out, but it looks like that's what it's going to be. So it's holding 10 yards, 10-yard penalty, so wiping out that 17-yard gain by Pori there. So now let's see if they can get it back with 3rd and 12. Now a screen pass over to Jessup. He makes the catch, and he gets a few yards, but it's going to be well short of the first down.
Warren Central has tied Center Grove at 7.
So they're giving Jessup credit for 3 yards. Well, I'll tell you, Pori has completed 6 of 9 passes, only 20 yards, though. So they're giving him the screen pass, but they're not letting him get anything once he gets it. So now we got another punt here for the Royals. This one's going to be fielded again by... and it's fielded at the 25, brought up to the 30, up to 35. And he's got room on the right side. He could go all the way. 50, 45, 40. One man to beat. 35, 30, 25. And he's brought down finally at the 8.
There is a flag, though, back at the 34-yard line.
If it doesn't count, that will be an awesome return for Jalen Walker. But based on the reaction, it looks like it's going to be against the Greyhounds. But yeah, there was nevertheless, some great shuffling there by Walker. Boy, I'll tell you, if you're a player like Walker and you shift your body around like that and, fake out your defenders, find a hole, you just hate it when it doesn't count. So now the Carmel offense takes the field again. They're trying to take a 2-possession lead. And I'll tell you, if they do get that 2-possession lead, then while Hamilton Southeastern certainly won't be out of it, that will be a deep hole, especially for a team that has not scored a lot of points the last couple of years.
For those of you who are just tuning in, 9:37 to play in the first half. 7-0 Carmel leading Hamilton Southeastern. I'm Rob Kendall. Your play-by-play announcer for the evening is Leck Zorn. And Leck, it looks like they're going to end up spotting that ball at the 24.
Yes, so good break for the Royals defense. And so now we'll see if they can, hold the line again. So now we've got one receiver to the left, 2 to the right. Victrup in shotgun as he's been the whole game. One running back. He takes it hands off, and it goes over to Tobias Watkins. He's had a very good game so far. Probably the player of the game for either team. They give him credit for, I think they're going to give him credit for 4. So 9:19 to go here in the second quarter. And, yeah, they do give him credit for 4.
Well, and again, Hamilton Southeastern continuing to hang in this one. Going to bring up second down out of the shotgun. 2 men inside, 1 man in the backfield, 2 receivers, 1 to each side. We got movement.
Yeah.
And I think that's going to be on the Royals. Yeah, it is. Looks like they're backing up. It is.
So that'll bring up a second and short for the Greyhounds. And I'll tell you, Hamilton Southeastern, arguably the greatest program that's never won a state championship here in Indiana. They've made it to the championship game 3 times in 1979, 97, and then again in 05. Trying to get back into the upper echelon this season. And now handoff there to Watkins, but this time he's brought down, and he might not even they might give him forward progress out to the first, but. And now we see the Channel 8 helicopter leave.
I was going to say you didn't commit any federal offenses, right? They're not coming for you?
I don't think so. But, when they are giving him credit for 0 yards, so bringing up a 3rd down here.
3rd down and a yard to go. As you said, Leck, 8:20 and counting here in the first half.
So 3rd and 1 here, 8:16. Huge play here for the for the Royals defense. So now we got, once again, Watkins, the lone running back, one receiver to the left and to the right. Watkins gets it. No, excuse me, Victrup keeps it, and he gets the first, and maybe one more. We haven't seen much rushing from Michael Victrup yet, but he is very capable of doing it on the ground. And they give him credit for 2 yards there. So now first and 10 at their own 36 for the Greyhounds. 7:52 to go, second quarter. Greyhounds leading your Royals 7-0. Victrup takes it, fakes the handoff and throws deep. He's got a man up the middle. Oh, almost made the catch in triple coverage. Great effort there by Jalen Walker. Three of 7 through the air so far for Michael Victrup. Last season he averaged only 7 passes a game. He's already equaled that here tonight here in the first half.
That was some great coverage in the Hamilton Southeastern secondary that time. Multiple defenders back there to make sure that pass wasn't caught.
Oh, yes. And, Rob, we were just talking about the Channel 8 helicopter leaving. I'll tell you, the last few years I've been on several games where they've dropped in during the game, and, you always feel good, when you see them drop in because it, shows that they think your game is important. But your game is important when you get here an hour before kickoff and they're already here.
Yeah, great job by the Hamilton Southeastern fans tonight, packing the outside of the stadium.
Oh, yeah, there's some heavy-duty tailgating going on here. And, so no wonder the helicopter was here to capture it all here on a beautiful opening night.
Well, and a special thank you to the traffic on 465. It was delightfully quick for 465 standards.
By 465 standards, key phrase, yeah. But, yeah, I got here over an hour before, so that was a nice surprise. Oh, look, they're still circling. There's up in the air, so maybe they're trying to get some aerial shots of the game, too. So, before they head on to other schools. So, 7:40 to go here, second quarter. And, Fishers has a game just 3 miles from here, the Fishers Tigers, so figured they'd, drop in over there too as they open the season with a conference game.
20-7 now, Brownsburg trailing Pike.
I'll tell you, that's one good thing, though, Rob, since the MIC dropped the Terre Haute North and South, and since the HCC dropped the Tippecanoe County schools, it's great to see all these MIC-HCC regular season matchups again that we haven't been able to see in nearly a decade.
21-0 Avon over Plainfield.
So now Victrup in shotgun, but now he could take it himself. He's got run up. He's got some room up the middle, and he gets a gain of about 6. So Michael Victrup. His best rush of the game so far, bringing up about, I think they're going to credit him for 6 there. I'll tell you, speaking of Plainfield, though, I got to give Coach Brian Woodard all the credit in the world. I mean, he doesn't shy away from the big boys. This is a big year for Plainfield. They move up to Class 5A this year. And, coming off an injury-plagued season in which they nevertheless got to the sectional championship. And so it's going to really toughen up those guys to start off with a marquee team like Avon.
Yeah, they went from Danville, who's a 3A school, so a huge jump.
Yeah. So now, and we got a
pass caught on the far side of the field. It's good enough for a first down. Of course, the rule in high school, just like in college, once your knee hits the ground, you're down. So even though there was no defender there, knee was on the ground, and that's a first down for Carmel.
Yeah, and Michael Victrup, excuse me. Great rush on the play before that. And so now first and 10, and they at the 46, and now it gives it to Watkins, who breaks through, gets a first down, shots him over the right, and he's well past the 50. So they've stopped. I don't know what the reason is. They've stopped updating the scoreboard here. So it's very aggravating there. But nevertheless, we got a nice 9-yard run on that last play from Watkins. Probably the player of the game so far. Well, yeah, 3 years ago, the MIC dropped Terre Haute North and Terre Haute South. 2 years ago, the HCC dropped the Tippecanoe County schools, West Lafayette Harrison, Lafayette McCutcheon, Lafayette Jeff. And it was a great move not only for competitive reasons, as none of those schools, with the semi-exception of Terre Haute North, had even been competitive in those conferences, but also because there was so little so little of a road crowd at the games that those teams played out of their metro areas. And furthermore, the dropping of those schools, the dropping of those out-of-area schools from the conferences opens up so many doors for these regional games, such as this one. These two schools renewed their regular season rivalry last year. They played in the regular season every year from '97 to '04, and now what are they? They're coming back, the Channel 8 helicopter again. So, I guess they want to get some more shots here. So that's great, because they were here about an hour before the game.
They may be coming to offer you a job.
Maybe. So now Victrup with Watkins, the lone running back. Victrup takes it, fakes the handoff to Watkins, looks, now rolls to his right. We got a flag here. He now looks to throw, but he's knocked out of bounds about the line of scrimmage. But let's see and then we got a call. It looks like it's going to be against the Greyhounds. So nearly a quarter and a half in the books here in this season opening game. Nice breeze coming into the press box here. Still got, some daylight left.
Again, if you're just joining us, 6:09 to play, first half. Rob Kendall's my name. Our play-by-play announcer for the evening is Lex Zorn. 7-0, the Carmel Greyhounds leading the Hamilton Southeastern Royals. There is a packed house here tonight, and this penalty is going to move the Greyhounds back a few yards.
Yeah, I'd say we got somewhere in the neighborhood. Goodness. Do you know how many they sit on they sit 5,000 on the home side of the bleachers?
Boy, I have no idea. I know they did. One thing we were going to mention is they did some major renovations out here, new seats for some of the fans, actual seats, which you don't see at a high school football game very often.
Very rare, yeah.
And also some renovations when I was up here testing the internet earlier this week for our broadcast. They were doing renovations to the press box.
That's great. So now Victrup hands off to takes the handoff, and he's going to be brought down. I think they're going to give him forward progress out to the line of scrimmage, but nevertheless that'll bring up another 3rd and long. So good break for the Royals. Looks like they're going to get the ball back.
Well, that's a great stand because they were moving into Southeastern territory that time, Leck. And just a nice job by Southeastern's defense to stand up. And they've still got one more play, though, here. Obviously, 3rd down, 17 yards to go.
Victrup's been held in check except for that 25-yard pass so far. So now, low snap, but Victrup gets it. Screen pass up the middle to Watkins. Gets up to the 45-50. So he gets a solid gain, but he's well short of the first down.
5:22 to play. Oh, you brought your charger. Good job. That'll come in handy here in just a little bit. Thank you. 5:10, I should say, and counting. And the Royals will receive the punt now as Carmel will kick it away. Ball in the 50. Punter standing at the 35-yard line. And we will see what happens here.
So now we got it's a good punt. And it takes a bounce and inside the 20. Rolls inside the 20, and it's down at about the 18. So 4:43 to go here in the second quarter. The Royals trying to get some offense going in the second half. Last year when these two teams played, the score was only 14-7. But at the same time, you know, if you're a Hamilton Southeastern fan, you got to like that you've only surrendered 7 points so far. So now Pori takes it, and he keeps it himself on the fake handoff, and he gets a decent gain, about 3 or 4 up the middle. Well, last season, Carmel scored 40 or more points on 4 occasions. So, you know, it's a nice job by, you know, the Royals defense pretty much the whole game. So now 2nd and 8 here for the Royals. Clock ticking, 4:10 now. And now his screen pass, it's completed out on the left side, brought up to the 25, and it's going to be close to the first down.
Has Southeastern got a first down in this game?
Exactly one. And now Jackson Sweeney, now a sophomore, gets his first reception of the game.
He's going to be about a yard short there, Lex. It'll bring him a big 3rd and 1 here, 4 minutes and counting here in the first half.
So now handoff there.
Oh, I don't think he got it.
I don't think he did either. It's going to be just short, it looks like.
They tried to run right up the middle there, and boy, this Carmel line all game long has been very, very solid in terms of holding firm.
Aaron Matteo has not been much of a factor, and that's disappointing for the team's leading rusher of last season. But still a lot of football to be played here.
Well, as you mentioned, the aforementioned 1 first down in the ball game for the Royals, so no sustained drives. And when you're playing a team as explosive as Carmel, that's not going to work out well. But thankfully, they are just down 1 score, 7-0. Punt is fair, caught at the 43-yard line, so that's where they'll put the ball down. So once again, a familiar theme in this game. Southeastern getting the ball deep in their own territory, can't move, punts. Carmel gets great field position, but again, this Hamilton Southeastern defense has stood up tall throughout the course of the game and remains down just 7 points.
Yeah, and which is especially encouraging, Rob, when you consider that Carmel's had pretty good field position for a lot of the game. There are plenty of teams in the state that would be down 35-0, 42-0 right now.
Absolutely, and you raise a great point there, which is that, I'll tell you what, this Southeastern defense looking mighty impressive.
So now Watkins up the middle again. This time he's got about 7. They're going to bring him right down at the 50.
Now we saw at the end of the first quarter was when Carmel scored that first touchdown. We will see what happens this time as we are winding down here in the first half. Ball resting exactly at midfield.
2nd and 3 at the 50. Big stand for the Royals. Watkins again. He's got the first down and more. They got him out down to the 43 or 44.
That was a great open field tackle that time by number 2, Will Michaelis, and that may have saved a touchdown for Hamilton Southeastern.
Indeed, yes. 2:36 to go. 2nd and 3 at the Hamilton Southeastern 43. So now 3 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Watkins alone running back. Victor up in shotgun. Low snap, but he gets it in. Looks deep. Throws up the middle. And it's right through the hands. Right through the hands of his intended receiver, Ethan Merriweather.
That's funny. The Carmel coaching staff is in the booth next to us, and they were pounding, multiple coaches pounding their fists on the table because that was a wide open, what could have been a touchdown there if that ball's caught. But also, on the other hand, there were several Southeastern defenders in the neighborhood, and that could have been an interception and a run back.
It could have been, yes. And, it might take a play of that magnitude, like a run back for a touchdown, to give the Royals a good chance to win today. But anyway, a screen pass over to Watkins. He gets it now down to the 35-30, and he trips up. But he's got the first down and much more.
Yeah, that was another big play and tripped up on the turf there. Fortunate for Southeastern. I don't think that would have gone for a score, but it would have been much closer than the 28, which is where the ball ended up at. I'm sorry, ball in the 22. No, ball in the 28. The board, I was right, and the scoreboard was wrong.
Oh, the scoreboard's been wrong a lot tonight. So now Victrup takes it, drops back. He looks, throws up the middle, and it's caught by Merriweather, but he doesn't get much, and he drucks back to his detriment. So he's going to, just get a gain of maybe 2 there.
Yeah, he ran the wrong way that time. I think he caught the ball, tried to make a move, but there were multiple defenders around him, and the only place for him to go is backwards, so he actually lost a couple yards of what he had after the catch. 1:30 to go here in the first half.
Yes, 2nd and 8. The Royals try to avoid going down 2 possessions here in the first half. 2 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Watkins in the backfield. Victrup in shotgun. Takes the snap. Hands off to Watkins. And he's going to get up the middle for about 3, bringing up 3rd and about 4 or 5.
So minute 10. Clock has stopped. I think Carmel spent a timeout there. And they're obviously thinking at least get a field goal out of this to go up 2 scores.
So, and I'll tell you, that's the importance of fundamentals. You've got to save your timeouts for, situations like this when you need them. I always cringe when I see a team, waste a timeout in the first quarter because they're confused about what play they're supposed to run. I mean, that would just drive me up the wall if I were a coach.
Well, if you are just joining us, a minute 10 to play here in the first half of action. I'm Rob Kendall. I'm running the camera and providing color commentary tonight. Your play-by-play announcer is Lex Zorn. And we have a minute 12 to go here in the first half from IU Health Field at Hamilton Southeastern High School, where your Royals trail the Carmel Greyhounds 7-0. It's been a defensive struggle, or I guess you'd say defensive standoff in this one so far. And both teams doing a nice job keeping the other out of the end zone. Most of this game, if you are just tuning in, has been played on the Carmel, the Hamilton Southeastern end of the field. Both Carmel driving into Southeastern territory and then Southeastern unable to move the ball out of their own territory. But the scoreboard is all that matters, and right now it's still close at 7-0.
Yeah, that's right. It's a valiant effort by the Royals. They tried hard last season, the great effort. They just didn't have the horses. This year they're a much more mature team, and they should, win a lot more games. But let's see how they do here. So Victrup gets the ball, throws to Merriweather in the end zone, and he's got it for the touchdown.
Boy, he got great separation that time and an outstanding one-handed catch. He has tried that a couple times tonight, and that time he pulled it off. Outstanding, just reaching that one hand out there and catching the ball, and that has got to be a delight to college scouts everywhere, seeing a guy that in high school can pull in one-handed catches and get that sort of separation.
Oh, absolutely. That was an outstanding play, and from a guy who's not really known for his passing. And now Stacy on the extra point. It is up, and it is good. So there's that 2-possession lead I talked about, 14-0 in favor of the Greyhounds. Now the Royals, the defense has played pretty well all game. Now the offense has to do something here.
Yeah, a minute and 7 seconds to play here in the first half. And Hamilton Southeastern now really behind the 8 ball because the Greyhounds will get the ball to begin the second half.
And now trying to motivate the team, playing music from Rocky IV, the Survivor classic Burning Heart. So, I still remember that scene. That song was so powerfully used in that scene where they're flying into the Soviet Union in the snow. Great use, one of the best uses I've ever seen of rock music in a movie. and certainly great motivating music.
Well,
you know.
and as we said, this could be a lot worse than it is. It is only 14-0. Brownsburg and Pike tied at 20 now as we wind down.
Wow.
8:49 left in the first half.
Tied, all right. Well, that's great to see that, you know. I wonder if Akron Abadi's running wild over them.
Defensive struggle.
Yeah. Well, so now we got Stacy on the kickoff. Goes deep, and it's going to go into the end zone for a touchback.
Yeah, and as we said to begin the ball game, in high school football, even if the ball is caught in the end zone, it is an automatic touchback if it stops in the end zone. So at any point, if the receiver or the ball hits the end zone on the kickoff, it is declared a touchback.
Well, Rob, I think Hamilton Southeastern, I think they do have all 3 timeouts left. They don't show the timeouts left on the scoreboard there. But I think they're really going to have to try to score because Carmel gets the ball first to start the second half. So if the Royals don't score the rest of this half, then the Greyhounds will be able to come out and take a 3-possession lead to start off the third quarter. And that would put the Royals in a very deep hole.
Center Grove and Warren Central are tied at 14, 1:55 left to go in the first half. Pass caught, big gain, first down, more across midfield, all the way down to the 43.
Easily the best play for the game on offense for the Royals. That's the kind of play they need.
And now quickly, Hamilton Southeastern will not use the timeout. Minute to go, they will go out of the no huddle.
So Aaron Matteo, a 37-yard reception. Pori in shotgun now. And now fakes the handoff, fakes the pass, takes it up himself, gets about 5 on the keeper.
They will still not spend a timeout.
So excellent start to this drive for the Royals.
Second down now, 3 receivers wide to the left, 1 to the right, single man in the backfield. Snap back to his quarterback draw. He's going to run it again.
So 2 again, and he's almost got the first down. But now he's third down. They might have to take a timeout, and they do.
And Scott May is going to burn a timeout, as you said, with 31.8 seconds to go. Ball resting at the 34. They need to get to the 33.
Well, Rob, on
Avon 28, Plainfield 0. So that one, 2 Audio Sports Online schools we cover, and it's all Avon in that one early on with Brian Scott.
Well, I'll tell you, Rob, that's the kind of play they needed because, you know, prior to that, Pori had completed 6 passes, but only for 27 yards. He got 37 on that one, and now 2 consecutive keepers in which he rushes for a total of 8 or 9 yards. So finally, the Royals offense showing some signs of life. They only had 1 first down the whole game prior to that, that surprise pass.
31.8 seconds to play here in the first half. This would totally turn this game around if Southeastern can get into the end zone after really struggling to move the ball, but they've got to get a first down here because they're not even in field goal range yet.
Right.
Snap, so quarterback keeper. He's got the first down to about the 30-yard line, so the clock will stop as they move the chains with 28 seconds to go.
Yeah, Pori showing a lot of toughness there. He's a big guy, 6'4", 210, so he can really be a battering ram up the middle. And they can credit for 3 there. So now first and 10 at the 31. And now pass. Oh, it's caught, but for a short gain, and the clock continues ticking there for the Royals.
They will not spend a timeout. I am shocked. They are not spending a timeout. Clock continuing to run. 10 seconds to go. Tick, tick, tick.
Oh, terrible clock management here. Terrible.
Snap. This could be the final play of the half. Back to pass. Has time. Throwing short, and it's dropped.
And it's incomplete. Terrible clock management there. Terrible clock management.
Well, that's going to do it for the first half, so we will take a little bit of a pause, let you listen and view the band, and we will be back with the second half. Luck will get some stats, and it is 14-0 Carmel leading Hamilton Southeastern here on Audio Sports Online.
I took my kids to Chick-fil-A the day of the boycott just to, stick it to
right, well, we welcome everybody back here on AudioSportsOnline.com. I'm Rob Kendall. Your play-by-play announcer for this evening is Lex Zorn. And if you're just tuning in, we are at halftime, 3 minutes, 20 seconds still up on the clock. Hamilton Southeastern Royals trail the Carmel Greyhounds by a score of 14-0. And, Leck, boy, it could have been a lot worse. That's the good news for Hamilton Southeastern.
Yeah, it could have been a lot worse, certainly. And, you know, a lot of teams in the state would be down probably 49-0 right now or worse. Carmel not only has a lot of horses this year, even with their losses to graduation, but they also got good field position for much of the first half. And yet Hamilton Southeastern forced several 3-and-outs. Also stopped them on 3rd and short, I think several times. And also Carmel, committed several penalties that kept them, kept them from, being in short yardage situations. And, but, while the Hamilton Southeastern defense did play pretty well, I'm just shaking my head at the terrible clock management there at the end of the first half. That's pure fundamentals, and you can bet that's something that Coach Scott May will be addressing with his team.
Well, you hit on the key point there is they were driving, they were doing well, and then they just there's not really much to say. They just kind of mismanaged the clock there at the end and ran out of time.
Yeah, and I believe they still had 2 timeouts left. To make matters worse, Carmel does get the ball to start the second half. So it's going to be absolutely crucial for the Royals to keep the Greyhounds from scoring, because if they even get a field goal, that's a 3-possession game. And it's very hard to imagine Hamilton Southeastern recovering from that kind of deficit in the second half against a team of this magnitude.
Carmel back on the field, as are the Royals. And the sun is now setting here in central Indiana. 2:25 back on the clock, as they traditionally do. They kind of pause it there at 3 o'clock or 3 minutes to go until everybody gets back out on the field. And Carmel will be. They are the visitors on the scoreboard. They're wearing the road whites, blue letters and numbers, gold helmets. And the Royals are the home team. They've got the home blues, gray letters and numbers, gray helmets.
Well, a quick scoring recap for the first half. Not much to report. With 53.9 seconds remaining in the first quarter, Michael Victrup connected 25 yards on a pass to Nathan Melchi. Nick Stacy's extra point made it 7-0. And then with 1:07 remaining in the second quarter, Victrup struck again, 23 yards, this time to Ethan Merriweather. Stacy's extra point brought us to our current score of 14-0. Individual statistics, very modest for both teams. We've got for your Hamilton Southeastern Royals, Carter Pori has completed 8 of 13 passes for 70 yards, no touchdowns and no interceptions. His leading receiver is Aaron Matteo, who has 1 reception for 37 yards. That coming near the end of the half. Then you've got Alec Jessup. You have 1 reception for 3 yards. Jackson Sweeney, 1 for 7. Matt Klink, 1 for 6. And Greg Miller, 2 for 17. On the ground, Pori is the team's leading rusher with 4 rushes for 14 yards, followed by David Cece, 2 for 5. Alec Jessup, 1 for -1. And Matteo, 2 for -3. For the Greyhounds, Michael Victrup has completed 6 of 12 passes for 97 yards, 2 touchdowns and no interceptions. His leading receiver is Ethan Merriweather, who has 3 receptions for 37 yards. In addition, Tobias Watkins has 3 for 36. Nathan Melchi, 1 for 25, being the touchdowns. And Marcus Perkins, 1 for 6. On the ground, Tobias Watkins has 11 carries for 41 yards, and Victrup 5 for 8. So no statistical stars so far for the game. We'll see if that changes in the second half. But remember, when these two teams played a year ago on opening night in Carmel, it was only 14-7 with the Greyhounds pulling it out, so we could have another low-scoring second half too.
Well, you're just spot on with that one. That it was only 14-7 last year. You think of these two teams, you think of high offense, you think of a lot of scoring, you think of quick movement of the football, but they both have really good defenses. So in a strange way, they sort of balance each other out.
Yeah, they do. But Hamilton Southeastern. I mean, this is a first-class defense when you consider that Michael Victrup, he's already Division 1A bound. He's committed to playing for the Air Force Academy, a team that's known for its great option quarterbacks. And, of course, Carmel, they had a great option quarterback a few years ago as well with Morgan Newton, the Mr. Football of 2008. Went on to a solid career in college at Kentucky. They're in the SEC. So now we've got the Royals take the field for the second half.
And the Royals will kick it off to begin the second half. We do again want to thank all of our friends here at Hamilton Southeastern, the Booster Club, head coach Scott May, Jim Self in the athletic department. Awesome group of folks out here. We love working with them, and thank you very much for another year of allowing us to broadcast Hamilton Southeastern football.
So Jalen Walker is back deep to receive for the Greyhounds. Carter Pori, the quarterback, is kicking. You don't see a whole lot of kicker-quarterback combinations, although you do have the great George Blanda. But anyway, the kick it's a high and relatively short kick, fielded at the 13 up to the 20, 25, and brought up just shy of the 30. So the Greyhounds now will take possession of the ball and try to build that three-possession lead, which would be a very tall order for the Royals to overcome.
Well, a huge defensive stand needed here for the Royals because, like you said, 3 possessions would be almost impossible. 2 is going to be tough enough. And Hamilton Southeastern really needs not just a stop, but a 3-and-out, get the ball back, and get some momentum on their side.
Yes, they do. And so we've got now for the Royals, we have Meriwether lining up to the right. We have one receiver to the left. Watkins, the lone running back, Victrup in shotgun. Takes it. Hands off to Watkins, who's up the middle. He gets maybe 2 or 3. That's Watkins' 12th carry of the game by my count.
Yeah, you just touched on it. They've had a couple big passes. Both touchdowns have been passes, but Watkins has done the majority of the heavy lifting.
Yes, and so they're giving him credit there for 1 yard there. So I've only got him for 42 yards and 12 carries. That's 3.5 a carry. So it's been fairly well contained by these Royals. So now Victrup gives it to Watkins again. This time he breaks up for more. He's going to be a little short of the first down, up to about the 36. 11:05 to go here, third quarter at Hamilton Southeastern. Your Royals trailing the second-ranked Greyhounds by a score of 14-0. And they're giving Watkins credit for 5 there. So now big third down here. The fans stopping on the bleachers, encouraging the defense on. Victrup drops back to pass, rolls to the right. He could run it. Screen pass out, and it's completed for the first down. And that was Perkins again with this second reception of the game. So, yeah, Victrup, his mobility, gets him out a lot of jams and creates a lot of options for him. So it's 11 yards there on that pass.
First down and 10, ball at the 46. Out of the shotgun, there's the give.
So Watkins again, this time he's up the middle for about 5. Boy, that Watkins is a tough kid. I mean, it takes a lot to bring him down.
Yeah, he's one of those guys that runs to contact.
Yeah, and, these days, with what the NFL's become, so passing-oriented, you just got to love, a tough running back like that. They're not as plentiful as they once were. So 2nd and 6 now at the 50 for the Greyhounds, following that 4-yard pickup by Watkins.
Snap, there's the give. Watkins does have room to run center of the field and barrels down for a first down to the 43.
Watkins doesn't have any huge gains, but he's just been, getting the job done. Like I always say, it only takes 3.4 a carry, and he does a little better than that. 58 yards now on the ground for Watkins on 15 carries, just under 4 yards a carry. So now got one receiver to each side. We've got Meriwether to the right. We've got Walker to the left, and we got an official timeout. Well, we got the flag here.
Yeah, flag is on the field.
So 9:40 to go here in the third quarter. We're at IU Health Field, this beautifully renovated stadium here on the campus of Hamilton Southeastern High School in Fishers. And they're waving off the flag here. Still got a little bit of daylight here. I'll tell you, Rob, that's something you got to love about these early season games, because by the time we get to the tournament, I mean, it's going to be pitch dark in the sky by the time we have kickoff.
Right.
So,
and we'll have to wear long sleeves.
Yes. Hopefully we won't have any lightning delays this year either. I didn't get any last year. I had a couple the year before that. So now Watkins again handling the ball often in this half, and he gets up about 8 this time, close to another first down. So, Rob, you just got to wonder at this point, is the Royals line starting to wear down?
Well, in a sustained drive here by the Greyhounds, eating up some clock now, getting ready to go on 3 minutes as we wind down and obviously moving the field position. So,
and now Victrup looking over to the sidelines for instructions. Now he gets back in shotgun, and we got Walker to the left, and now handoff to Watt. No, this time Victrup fakes it. He takes it himself. He has the first and more up to about the 28 or so.
I would be very surprised, at this point, if you see the Greyhounds put the ball in the air, just because they're having such success running the football, and ball time of possession and holding on to the ball are very important.
Indeed, it seems like they're wearing down this line, and Victrup, he threw 13 passes in the first half, which is twice as many as he averaged per game last season. And, and 2 of those passes were those touchdown passes, accounting for the only scores of the game. So 8:37 and counting, first quarter. 14-0 Carmel lead, and we got a timeout here.
Yeah, that timeout called by Southeastern. Well, next week at North Central for these Royals.
Yes.
Rhett Cochran will be out there calling that game.
It should be, a very winnable game for the Royals. North Central has struggled badly in the last few years. They've been consistently at the bottom of the MIC. And so that even if the Royals lose this one, that's, certainly they got a shot to, get back on the winning track next week. And, it's important for them to win that one, because they do not want to go into the HCC schedule at 0-2. And the schedule 2 weeks from now, they open conference play down at Avon. That's going to be a tough one. Then they come back here for their cross-city rivals, Fishers, the week after that. So it's not going to get any easier. After next week, they're going to have, several heavyweight opponents in a row.
First down and 10, 8:33 to play, third quarter, 14-0 Carmel. Greyhounds with the ball. Leck, take it away.
Okay, well, we got Walker to the Walker to the left, Meriwether to the right, and Victrup looks back to pass. He rolls to the left now, rolls to the right. He's got some running room, but he could also throw. He fakes the pass, takes it himself, and he rushes up for about 4 or 5 yards. So another nice game by Michael Victrup.
That was a smart decision on his part. I mean, no reason to make an ill-advised pass. You keep the clock running, you stay in bounds, and we have an injured Hamilton Southeastern player down on the field. He will walk off under his own power, though, so hopefully he's okay.
Yeah, hopefully, yeah. And thankfully, it's been pretty well an injury-free game so far. Hopefully, we'll keep it that way.
That was number 70, Colin Miller.
So we wish him well. And now, once again, we got Meriwether to the right, Walker to the left. Watkins in the backfield. Gets it on the handoff. He goes over to the right side, and he's brought down for a gain of about 2 or 3. So that'll bring up third and short for the Greyhounds. 7:50 to go here, third quarter. The Royals defense desperately trying to avoid giving up a score, trying to stay in this game.
Yep, tick, tick, tick goes the clock, though, as they have now had the ball for 4.5 minutes. and they are probably in field goal range as the ball rests at the 20.
Yeah, I don't know what Stacy's range is, but now Watkins gets it, and he's got the first down and more, and he plows his way up into the 10s for the first down.
Well, this is exactly what Carmel wanted to begin the second half. Not only are they moving the ball, but taking a lot of time doing it. They'll be well inside of, or well past 5 minutes of possession by the time this drive is wrapped up.
Yeah, you're right. So now once again, Meriwether to the right, and Walker to the left, Watkins in the backfield. Victor up in shotgun, takes the snap, hands off to Watkins, takes it over to the right. He's got a hole, and he's into the end zone for the touchdown. So there's that 3-possession lead I talked about. Tobias Watkins, 10 yards, and the Greyhounds open up a 20-0 lead with the extra point pending.
Well, we mentioned there had been no rushing touchdowns for the Greyhounds. We can no longer say that because that was a rushing touchdown from 10 yards out. Made a hole, ran through it. Football at its finest right there for the Greyhounds.
So now Nick Stacy trying to go 3 for 3 on extra points for the game. It's a good snap. The kick is up, and it is good.
Pike up over Brownsburg 34-27 at the half. So a defensive struggle.
So with 7:06 to go here in the third quarter, your Hamilton Southeastern's now down in a 3-possession hole. They trail the second-ranked Carmel Greyhounds by a score of 21-0 here on AudioSportsOnline.com.
That's 61 points and a half out at Brownsburg.
Well, last year I think that game was like 51-17 or so. So at least the Bulldogs are putting up a lot more points this year. Hopefully Akron Abadi's running wild over that defense.
Well, here we've got 7:06 left to play in the third quarter, and it is a 21-0 Hamilton Southeastern deficit as they trail the Greyhounds.
So now Nick Stacy on the kickoff. We got back deep to receive for the Royals. We got, we've got, okay, now the boat whistled into play, and it's a long kick fielded at the 6 or 7, brought up to the 10, 15, 20, up to about the 22. That was Brock Burns there. He's a junior on the kickoff return. So now, as Sticks says, these are the times we find out who we really are. Let's see how the Royals respond to this.
Warren Central 27, Center Grove 14.
So 7 minutes even, 19 minutes left for the Royals to make up 21 points. Can they do it? We will see. So now Pori fakes the handoff, throws up the middle. He's got a completion for a solid gain there. It's going to be well short of the first down, though. That is Matt Klink with his second reception of the game.
That's been right there for the Royals now several times, that little screen pass or slant pass there in the middle of the field.
Yeah, and but they're just going to need to do something to just to keep the clock, to keep the chains moving, hopefully not to keep the clock moving too much.
6:40 and counting here in the third.
So 10 yards there, and now Curtis Goss, the ball carrier for the Royals. They're giving him credit for 1. 6:21 to go. They will need to avoid getting a third and long. They got 3 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. The only running back is Curtis Goss. 6:05 to go now and counting. Third quarter. The Royals need to get something going. High snap, but he gets it. And it's a short pass that's incomplete. And it was just bounced off his hands.
So it'll bring up a big 3rd and 9, and I'll tell you what, I mean, you're probably not in 4-down territory yet, but they really need to get a first down here.
Yes, they do. 3rd and 9's plagued this team last year. They plagued this team tonight. The only good drive they got going was the last drive of the first half, which ended because of poor clock management.
And
So
now another timeout going to have to be called by Hamilton Southeastern.
Boy, and that's got to drive you crazy. They wasted those timeouts there, you know, and they failed to use those timeouts there at the end of the first half. Now they've already wasted 2 here in the second half.
Yeah, you know, if the score ends up holding up here, I'm sure Southeastern and Scott May, when he looks back on this, will conclude that stanza there, the final minute or so of the first half, was really when the game might have slipped away because they had a real chance there. And again, that's if the score holds up to score there and really be right back in it.
Yeah, and, you know, truth be told, even if the Royals played a mistake-free game, they probably wouldn't win, but, you know, certainly they would be in it. That's the thing. They'd at least be in it with a chance to win, like they were last year, and they fell only 14-7. So now 2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Porian shotgun, 1 running back. Takes it. And it's dropped again, so 2 consecutive dropped passes there, bringing up 4th and 9 now.
Yeah,
with 5:52 to go.
Probably wouldn't have had enough for the first down anyway. It was a little crossing pattern there, and that's a tough ball to catch because you know you're going to get hit when you're running that route.
Right. So good effort by Matteo, who's been pretty quiet in this game. You know, he was the leading rusher last year, nearly 1,000 yards as a junior, but he's been largely a non-factor tonight. That's taking nothing away from him. I mean, they've just gotten in a position where they're having to rely more and more on their passing offense. So now the punt, and it takes a decent now a good Hamilton Southeastern bounce down to about the 27. And that's actually one of the worst starting field positions tonight.
35-28, Noblesville over Lawrence North. So for those of you that are Hamilton County fans, here comes another helicopter, Leck.
Wow, which one is this? Yeah, is this the? Let's see if we can get a look at it. It's hard to tell from that angle, but yeah. Well, when 2 helicopters come in, you know, okay, it's channel 13. So yeah, channel 8 now, channel 13. So yeah, when 2 helicopters come in and see you, you know it's an important game. So 5:41 to go here in the third quarter. And now Victrop handing off to Watkins again, who's up for a short gain. They're giving him credit for 3. I believe that's his. I believe he only had 11 carries at the half, so that would give him 8 in here in this third quarter, in just a little over half a quarter.
And there's a give, short gain, and is it going to be enough for first down? It looks like it is.
Yeah, it's a 9-yard gain there. Who was that?
I believe it was Watkins again.
Watkins, okay. Yeah, so that's his 20th carry then. So Tobias Watkins, 91 yards now on 20 carries, trying to become the first 100-yard rusher for this game. 5 minutes even to go now in the quarter. So now, and Watkins again. This time he's tripped up after a gain of about 3. So I think they've reached the point now where they feel like even if Watkins isn't totally running wild, that he's going to be able to get enough yardage to keep the chains moving, which is all the Greyhounds need at this point.
Well, now we do have another injured Royal down on the field. And again, it looks like the same gentleman who was injured earlier, number 70, Colin Miller. And you don't know what that is. If it looks like they're working on the lower leg, so it could be a cramp. And I think that's probably what it is. That is painful.
Yes, it is. And hopefully he'll be okay. You know, certainly as a commentator, you know, you don't ever want to speculate on the nature of injuries. He does look like he is attempting to sit up. That's good. And And I still remember one time a couple of years ago when I commentated Zionsville and Cathedral in the playoffs. Zionsville's quarterback was down motionless for 20 minutes. It was a pretty chilling sight. And I also learned a lot about, space filling that night because I had 20 minutes to talk since there were no commercials. So
Warren Central 27, Center Grove 21.
That's what it sounds like. They got a barn burner brewing down there in that MIC matchup. And this is a series, by the way, that that Carmel has dominated over the years. These two teams have met 16 times. The Greyhounds have won 14 of those, the only two exceptions coming in their first meeting back in 1997, which was a 15-7 win for the Royals. And then in the 2005 playoffs, when the Royals pulled away 17-7, that was the last time that the Royals got all the way to the state championship game. Like I said, Hamilton Southeastern very well could be the best program in the state that's never won a state championship. And now we've got a nice ovation here as the injured Royal is walking off the field under his own power, groggily, but, even jogging a little bit, so that's a good sign. And that is number 70, Colin Miller. He's a senior, 6'4", 250. Hopefully he'll be back.
And it looked like it could be in the area of a cramp.
So now back to action here, 2nd and 8 at the Carmel 41. The Greyhounds have the ball with the 3-possession lead. It's bleak, but it's not over yet. The Royals need a big play, though. So now Vic Tripp looks over to the sidelines. The 2 receivers to each side. Watkins, lone running back. A low snap, but he gets it in. Throws deep down the right side, and it is incomplete. Just a little overthrown.
Yeah, had a receiver down there, Leck, just overshot him. And, of course, at this stage of the game, a little surprised to see the Greyhounds throwing the football. But if you're going to do that, make sure you throw it where somebody with the other jersey is not.
I guess the thinking is, they've been giving it to Watkins so much, maybe they're thinking the defense is going to be clamping down so much, maybe they can catch him off guard with a pass. But nevertheless, I'm surprised they did it because, third that brings up a 3rd and long that will give the Royals a chance to get the ball back, with still a fair amount of time left. So now Vic Tripp throws up and another incompletion. So, yeah, I am surprised by that call. 2 consecutive incompletions now.
Avon 35-0 now over Plainfield.
The Quakers will have better days. That's it's a tough, tough night's work for a lower division opponent.
Yeah, I mean it's one of the probably 5 best teams in the Class 6A in the state of Indiana.
Yeah, they're ranked 6th in the AP poll starting off. So yeah, that's the Quakers are going to win a lot of games this year, though. I think they're going to have a winning season. So now it's a punt that goes out of – no, it takes a nice Carmel bounce all the way down to about the 10. So it ends up being about a 47, 48-yard punt there for the Greyhounds. So with 3:59 to go here in the third quarter, the Royals have just under a quarter and a third to make up a 21-point deficit. So now we've got lined up to the left, we've got Greg Miller. And we got Carter Pori in shotgun again. They need to get something going on offense. And now we got I believe that's Cece with the carry there. Yeah, David Cece. And he's had a very quiet game so far. They're going to give him credit, I think, for 2 or 3. Yeah, they're giving credit for 2. And now we got a pass that's completed over there to Miller. He's had another quiet game as well, but he's going to be short of the first down, though.
Again, if you are just tuning in, 3:20 and counting left to go in the third quarter. 21-0 in favor of Carmel. Hamilton Southeastern now facing a 3rd and 3.
They're going to give him credit for 5 on that one. So 3rd and 3, very crucial 3rd down for the Royals. Pori looks back, thinks about taking it. He might have the room, and he's got the first down. So nice scramble there by Carter Pori to keep the drive alive.
Yeah, it's a great effort. That shows what these Southeastern Royals are made of, even though they're down, even though we're starting to wind the contest down as we near the fourth quarter. Never giving up. You never know, that could be the play that sparks the comeback.
Yeah, you never know. And, last year, these Royals, they did compete very hard. They just didn't, they were a fairly young team. They were starting a lot of juniors and sophomores. And this year they're mainly seniors and juniors, so they should be a much improved team in the win-loss column. So that was a nice 7-yard gain there by Pori. We'll see if they can capitalize on it. So now Pori, he fakes a pass, thinks about running. Now he runs over to the right side, throws a pass. He's got a man open. It's complete, and he's got another first down. He breaks a tackle, and he's out to about the 44. So all of a sudden, signs of life here for the Royals.
It's almost like they threw the playbook out the window and they just played backyard football there. Hey, everybody go deep. Nope, nobody's open. I'm going to run. Nope, not going to run. Oh, that guy's open. Wham!
Yeah, that's right. So nice reception there by Aaron Matteo. They're giving him credit for 20 yards there.
Out of the shotgun. There's the snap. Play action throws. Got a man caught again.
Another first down.
Yep, first down.
So that one was to Miller. So now Miller with 2 receptions on this drive. He's starting to come alive.
So really the second positive drive of the evening for the Royals now, as they have moved the ball into Carmel territory. 2:30 to play in the third quarter.
Yes, indeed. So that's a great sign. So we'll see if they capitalize on it. And now a nice run up the middle there with David Cece. And they're going to give him credit for, I think, about 6 or 7 there. Yes, 6, yeah.
2 minutes, 10 seconds to play here in the third quarter.
So now a handoff again to CC, and he's got some more room. I think he's got the first, at least very close to it.
Yeah, it's going to depend on where they put the football. They have not signaled to move the chains yet. They will not, so it'll bring up a third down. Third and about a yard.
Okay, so yeah, they'll give him credit for 4. Then now it's quarterback sneak. I think that's Pori on this quarterback sneak there.
Yeah, they telegraphed that one. They told everybody what they were going to do and just said, "We're confident our guy can move your guy."
Yeah, when you're but like I said, Pori's a very big guy. 6'4", 210. So.
Well, clock stops with a minute 41 to play in the third. Another first down for the Royals. They've got to get in the end zone here, though.
Yeah, they can't settle for any. Field goal does them virtually no good here. So first in at the 34. And now got a man. Oh, it's miscommunication there. Otherwise, he would have had, another first down there. Will Kadre, the leading returning receiver, has been very quiet tonight. 2nd and 10 now.
Over 700 yards in the first half for Brownsburg and Pike, 409 yards for the Red Devils. And there's a sack, and that will move them back several yards.
So all of a sudden, they're playing so well, and just like that, another dreaded 3rd and long. Very disheartening 4-yard loss there. So 3rd and 14 at the 38. Very crucial play for the Royals offense. 3 receivers to the left, 1 to the right, 1 running back. Pori in shotgun. Looks to Scott May on the sidelines.
Clock is moving inside of a minute now.
So a lot of ground to make up. So Pori, he fakes the pass. He's going to run. He's got some room on the right side, and he gets several yards, but he's well short of the first down.
So obviously they are going to go for it here on 4th down.
It is 4-down territory, certainly.
He did get, looks like about 7 of those yards back. So if he could do that again, he'd be very close to a first down. It's going to bring up a 3rd and 9.
Yeah,
I'm sorry, 4th and 9.
They're only giving him credit for 5. I thought it was a little more than that. So not as quite as generous a spot as I expected.
Yeah, basically. So back to the original line of scrimmage, and it looks like the Royals are going to be content to take this into the quarter break and talk about what they want to do on 4th down. And really, this is probably more or less the ball game coming up here. If they get this first down, they're still back in business. If not, you're going to turn it back over to the Greyhounds in the fourth quarter.
So yeah, now we're at the end of the third quarter now with your Hamilton Southeastern Royals trailing the second-ranked Carmel Greyhounds by a score of 21-0. The Royals are on they're the deepest they've been in Greyhound territory all game. They're 4th and 9 at the 33. Only their second very good drive of the game. So if they do not score a touchdown on this possession, it is just about over.
35-28, Warren Central leading Center Grove. So defense optional all around Central Indiana tonight.
I wonder how many yards Akron Abate has.
Well, you've got 400 and whoop.
Because you can bet he's got a big chunk of those yards.
We got 409 yards. Sorry, folks, you were watching at home there. That was a camera took a mind of its own there as we tried to pan around the field. You got 409 yards for the Red Devils. That's a lot of yards in a whole game.
Oh, yeah.
Much less the first half.
Oh, yeah, especially 24-minute half as opposed to 30 for college and pro. So anyway, the game hinges right here. 3 receivers to the left, 1 to the right, up the middle pass, and it is incomplete. So now Carmel can just, go in cruise control. 11:55 to go here in the fourth quarter. They lead 21-0, which is ironically the score of the last game the Royals played in the tournament across town against Fishers last year. A loss to the Tigers.
Well, and it hit the man. The man was open. It's just hard to make that catch running in traffic, and unfortunately he couldn't hang on to it.
Yes, so now we'll see how the Greyhounds respond. I assume that they're going to, do a lot of low-risk plays. I think they're going to it wouldn't surprise me if they didn't put the ball in the air again the rest of the game, at least very rarely. So now you got 2 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Victor up now with 2 running backs. He's played with 1 most of the game. Now he hands off to Watkins again, who breaks up the middle, nearly a first down.
Yeah, and if you're Hamilton Southeastern here, Leck, you got to maybe start thinking about putting a few extra guys up there in the box because they're probably in full run mode now at this point.
Yeah, and I apologize, by the way, that was Stephen Watts with his first carry of the game. He's a senior for Carmel. And now Watts gets it again, and this time he gets the first and more. So now Stephen Watts, a senior, looks very good on his first 2 carries of the game for a total of 17 yards.
I'll tell you what, this is the first time I've been doing this for like 10 years now. This is the first football game of the year that I don't remember breaking a sweat.
Yeah. Yeah, it's very nice weather, says Watts gets another 4 up the middle. So Stephen Watts all of a sudden off the bench in the fourth quarter, 21 yards on 3 carries, a very promising start. I'm just glad they haven't run, him and Watkins together, Watts and Watkins in the background. I mean, that just invites so many potential mistakes in commentary. So anyway, Vic Strupp with 2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Hands off to Watts again, and this time he's contained maybe 1 or 2 yards. His shortest of the game so far, but nevertheless, it was 4th consecutive carry. And they're marking him down at the 44 for a gain of 2, bringing up 3rd and 4.
10-20 and counting as the clock continues to wind.
And now Vic Strupp again in shotgun with the Watts, the lone running back. This time he drops back to pass. He runs over to the right. He's in hot pursuit, and he's almost brought down. He dodges a sack. We got I couldn't.
I think you thought that was I think that was a beach towel.
Yeah, I thought it was a flag that distracted me. But he nevertheless connected for a complete pass with Jalen Walker.
And that was enough for a first step. Boy, great job there getting away from the pressure and not only avoiding the takedown, but then finding the open man.
Oh, yeah, yes, indeed. I mean, I thought they had him for the sack, but, Vic Strupp is a very elusive guy, and we got a timeout here.
Avon 41-0, 9:01 left to go in the fourth. So good start for the Orioles, rough start for the Quakers. But as you said, Plainfield, for their size, plays one of the toughest schedules in the state because you look at who is on their schedule. Avon bigger, Terre North bigger, Greenwood bigger, Decatur Central bigger.
Roncalli,
who, while not bigger, is one of the premier programs in the state.
I mean, one of the powers.
Mooresville, same size. I mean, they are just Whiteland bigger.
Yeah, Franklin's bigger too. Yeah,
Right.
Decatur Central's bigger. Yeah, I mean, they're probably smaller in enrollment than all of their opponents, except for maybe Roncalli. But Roncalli, of course, one of the big powers. So now, Victrup got plenty of time. He rolls over to his left. He's gets the pass off, and it's complete to Watts for his first reset. Or do they say it's no? They're saying it's an incomplete pass.
That was a nice job rolling out there that time, avoiding the pressure, and he's done a nice job of that throughout the evening, as we just saw in the first down conversion a few plays ago. But really nice job of fleeing the pocket, and I gotta ask you this. I'm sure you know, Carmel was not number 1 in the preseason poll. Where were they at?
2.
They were 2.
Yeah, Ben Davis was 1.
So I mean, who knows if there is a flag on the play. By the way, Leck, and we do have an injured Royal down. I think the flag is going to go against the Greyhounds based on the fact that they are moving back. That's either in the area of a hold or a block in the back.
Yeah, well, the Royals take any break they can get at this point. 9:52 to go. They need to get the ball back, and they need to get 3 scores. And Rob, Carmel, they've had very few double-digit gains tonight. They've just had a lot of short gains that have kept the chains moving, and that's all you need. All you need is the 3.4.
Yeah, their touchdowns were the biggest gains for the most part.
Yeah, the 23 and 25-yard pass, but other than that, I mean, they've just gotten a lot of 4, 5, 6-yard gains. I mean, it would be hard, other than those 2 touchdown passes, to find anything that would look good on a highlight reel. So, definitely.
It's and the reason I brought that up is who knows whether the polls are accurate, who knows whether they're right, but hey, Hamilton Southeastern, while the score, it is 3 scores, has been competitive tonight against what you would say is the number 2, at least coming into the season, the quote-unquote experts thought was the number 2 team in the state of Indiana.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
It could easily have ended up being 14-7 at half. It's a totally different ball game. So, as Scott Mann will talk to him on Monday about it, even if it holds up and ends up being a loss, still a good effort against what the consensus was is the second-best team in the state to start the year.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, certainly there's been no lack of effort. And the Royals, I believe they will have a winning record this year. They returned most of their key players from last year that were 4 and 6. And I think that they have better days ahead. And I think they'll learn a lot from this one. And now a screen pass over there to I'm confused. I'm not sure.
They whistled the play dead. He'll be whistled dead at about the 46. Hamilton Southeastern, the chaos was Hamilton Southeastern. Fans and coaching staff alike was adamant that a hold was missed. And they'll actually spot it at the 47.
So now Victrup, screen pass completed to Watts for his first reception. Well, he's got a big gain up to about the 40.
Well, I tell you what, they give Carmel some credit. They were at first and forever, and they marched some of it off. And now they're at a very manageable 3rd and 10, and they're probably based on where they are on the field in 4-down territory. So give the Greyhounds some credit. They didn't just pack this drive in. They are really trying to pick up this yardage.
Yeah, and that's Watts now 14 yards with his first reception of the game. Already has 21 yards. He didn't, and his first carry was just here in the 4th quarter. So, very promising debut for Stephen Watts.
Out of the shotgun.
And now Victrup drops back. Now he takes it himself. He's got plenty of room. He's got the first down and more. And he could, he's got to go around the right, and he's going in all the way for the touchdown.
Wow. Wow, that was untouched. 39 yards for a score. And that one may get the ire of Scott May because it looked like some Royals might have given up on that play.
Yeah, certainly a disappointing, explanation point for from Hamilton Southeastern standpoint, it's a disappointing exclamation point for the Royals to put on, for the Greyhounds to put on this win. And when you're coach, you want to see your guys playing hard, even when the game's out of reach. So, yeah, that's something you can bet he'll be hammering on in practice. So now Stacy trying to make it 4 for 4 on extra points. He does, and the Greyhounds now lead 28-0 with 8:20 to play.
35-35, Warren Central and Center Grove. So, apparently the defenses didn't get the invitation that there was a football game tonight out there.
Yeah, the Royals played tough defense for most of the game until that play. That was it was like maybe they just finally felt they were broken. I think there's just some discouragement. But they'll bounce back. And this is a series that it's great to see renewed. That it was gone for about 10 years, other than a couple of tournament meetings. So now it's great that these cross-county rivals are playing every year in the regular season again, and I think that, Hamilton Southeastern will, they're going to have a lot of competitive games with Carmel in the future. There's so much talent here in this part of the state now. It's high school ball's just, come such a long way from when I was growing up. So now Stacy on the kickoff, 8:20 to go. As the Royals will try to get something going, try to get some points on the board.
Carmel to kick it away. Again, remind everybody, we will be at North Central High School next week. Rhett Cochran will have the call of that one as the Greyhounds as the Royals take on the Panthers, and that's going to be a touchback.
Yep. And I'll be commentating yet another MIC HCC matchup just a few miles south of here down at Lawrence North, where they'll be hosting Brownsburg. So that should be a great matchup. Patrick Mallory's got the Lawrence North program on the rise again, and of course Brownsburg's hoping for a banner senior season from Toke Sacred Abade, and to improve on after a couple of 3-7 seasons in a row. So now Pori in shotgun, one receiver to each side. I think Mattio's the running back. No, it fakes the handoff, and now he throws up the middle, and it is through the hands of the receiver.
Yeah, it's too bad on that one, Leck, because he had room to run, as they say, but unfortunately could not hang on to it.
That is correct. So, yeah, disappointing him. Disappointing to say the least. But now another pass, this time completed on the right side. And he's got a first down to Moore. He's got some room on the right side. So he's got over a 20-yard gain there. And that is, who was that? That was Max Brooks. He's a junior tight end. So looking very good on his first reception of the game.
All the way up to the 37.
So now give him credit for 18 yards on that play. And now a handoff there, and he's got a gain of about 5 or 6.
Curtis Goss with the run that time.
So Goss is going to get credit for about 6.
Our next video broadcast, for those of you inquiring about that, we will have audio only next week, will be on the 4th of September as the Royals play host to Avon. So, and then we will have, we will be at Fishers. We will have video for that. We will be at Lucas Oil against Westfield. That will be audio. At Zionsville, that'll be video versus Noblesville.
So now, fake handoff, and then Pori takes it up, and he's got the first down. Gain of about 6 or 7 there. Nice run by Carter Pori. He's had a few nice runs tonight.
And then wrapping up, you've got versus Columbus Hartley. That's video. Versus Brownsburg at Victory Field. That's video. So a lot of video broadcasts this year for HSE. At least are scheduled to be broadcast video.
And some nice venues that they're playing at too. That's a 6-yard gain for David Cece, by the way. So now we got another run by this time he's CC again. Maybe he's starting to look really good on the ground. Maybe they should have turned to him earlier. They given him credit for 9 there. He was largely absent from their game in the first half. He's had more carries in the second half. And now we got 7:01 to go. The Royals trying to avoid the shutout here. Pori, handoff now to CC, who's up the middle for about 2 that time.
Inside of 7 minutes now to go in the ball game. 28-0 if you are just joining us. It's been really the same story both halves. 14-0 both halves for Carmel, and they lead 28-0.
Yes, indeed. And so then, let's see, they're giving, so that'll be second down. They haven't adjusted the scoreboard yet. But now, hand off to CC. And now we got a touchdown here. Straight up, faked me out. I thought he handed it to CC. And who is that?
23, Aaron
Yeah, Aaron
Matteo.
Matteo, the team's leading rusher from last season. I thought he handed off to CC, but that was a great fake. So finally, the Royals get their first points since the last game of the regular season last year. They avoid their second consecutive shutout here.
Unfortunately, it looks like it's coming back. Like,
oh, shucks. All right.
illegal man downfield, I think, was the call. And that's unfortunate because that was a great route by Matteo. That was a great pass and perfect execution. Other than, unfortunately, I think somebody got a little excited and got a little bit far down the field. Yeah,
that's right. It was very and it was a beautiful fake by Pori. I mean, I thought that he had really handed off to CC, and then the way that he faked it, and then in one fluid motion just flung the ball there to Matteo. It was very beautifully done. And, it reminded me of the best handoff faker I've ever seen, Scott Amore from Danville, who I did a few years ago. In 3 games I did of his, I must have blown 6 or 7 calls because of his excellent handoff fakery. Yeah, he was an option quarterback as well. So.
All right, so it'll bring up a
2nd and 15 at the 33. So now handoff to CC, and this time he's brought down. I think for no gain. Oh, they're saying a loss of 2, in fact. So now the low snap, but Pori brings it in. Got time. He throws into the end zone. He's got a man.
Oh, that's got to be pass interference. Yep.
Yes, pass interference. Okay.
I lost the camera again, but that is a pass interference.
Yeah, unfortunately, I keep hoping they'll change the high school rule to make it a spot foul like it is in the NFL. But as it is in high school ball, only the 15 yards.
Yeah, it's a free 15 for the Royals.
And the automatic first down.
Yep. So Hamilton Southeastern will keep the drive alive. And, hey, sometimes if all else fails, just throw it up and see if somebody catches it.
At this point, why not, They haven't, they were shut out in their last game, which was the playoff loss last season to Fishers, so they don't want to be shut out to start the season. But, the way that Hamilton Southeastern, the way they've played tonight, they would have beaten a heck of a lot of teams in Indiana. It just so happens that Carmel, the number 2 team in the state, probably one of the top 20 or 30 teams in the country. Carmel's, they've been nationally ranked in the top 10 several times over the years, nationally. So let's see. Referees are still deliberating and deciding where to mark the ball. Looks like it's going to be at the 25 at the Carmel 25.
Pike 41, Brownsburg 27. All right, so 6:12 to play in the ball game. 28-0 Carmel. Southeastern with the ball. 1st and 10 at the 25.
So now Pori in shotgun. 3 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. CC, the running back, pass out to the left, and he's got a completion, and he's knocked out of bounds, I believe, right at the first down marker. So now they're in the hurry-up mode, and now who was that? That was Will Cordray, the leading receiver last season. Gets 9 there.
6:05 left to play in this one.
So now screen pass again, this time completed. And now he's inside the 10. He's got the first. It's Matteo again having a big game, not on the ground but through the air.
So this, again, as the touchdown was taken away a few plays ago, it'd be nice to see him come back and get in the end zone.
Indeed it would. So let's see, first and goal at the 5. Handoff now to, I couldn't tell who that was, but Curtis Gosh, yes. He got up maybe 2, maybe 3. We'll see where they mark him. Be second and goal. Yeah, second and goal at the 2.
Clock continues to move. 5:30 to play in the ball game.
So the Royals looks like they got a good chance to avoid the shutout here.
Snap, pitch, and that didn't fool anybody. That was a little misdirection play. Unfortunately, the misdirection went right into the direction of the defense.
Yeah. So let's see. So 3rd and 4. Nevertheless, they still got a shot here as CC's brought down for a loss of 2. So Cathedral leading Lawrence Central 35-14. The Fighting Irish off to a good start in their first season in Class 6A. Now the fake handoff to CC, and Pori takes it himself. Does he get in? Very close.
No signal yet.
I think they got him down at the 1.
Cathedral's in
Class 6A.
So they've gone from 4A to 6A.
Yeah, because of the new rule where now you have to move up based on postseason success. They won the 5A championship the last 2 years, so they were forced to move up. So it'll be interesting to see what they do now at the highest level in the state for the first time.
Well, and that and a timeout going to be called on 4th and 1 with 4:30 to go. That rule was put into place. A lot of people don't like the rule, but that rule was put in place essentially for programs like Cathedral.
Yeah, basically to curb the dominance of the Catholic schools who have completely dominated the lower divisions. I mean, you look at Lafayette Central Catholic, Cardinal Ritter, Ron Colley, Bishop Chatard, Cathedral. I mean, they've all dominated their classes when, multiple championships, sometimes several in a row. And so, as far as I'm concerned, they should be, and I say this as a non-Catholic, I think they should be lauded as a symbol of excellence, and that should give other schools something to aspire to. But nevertheless, I am very curious as to see how Cathedral will do now that they are in the highest class. And I think they're going to be contenders. I mean, they opened the season ranked number 7th, and they're beating a MIC team 35-14.
All right, well, we are just about ready to go here. And, again, from a moral victory perspective, we definitely want to see these Royals get the ball in the end zone here.
Yes, indeed we do. So 4th and 1 now. If I were a betting man, which I'm not, but if I were, I'd say quarterback sneak from Pori. So, but we will see. Takes the snap. He goes forward, and I think he has it. Waiting for the signal, but it looked to me like he got in. I couldn't tell. Yes.
All right.
So finally, for their first score in 2 games, Carter Pori takes it in on a quarterback sneak, 1 yard for the touchdown, and bringing some life into this crowd. So now kick the extra point. Gosh, who is kicking the extra point?
It looks like it is 78. Does that look right?
Stephen McLeish. So Stephen McLeish on the extra point. Good snap, good hold, and the kick is good. So with 4:21 to go in the game, your Hamilton Southeastern Royals have finally scored on the second-ranked Greyhounds. They still trail, however, 28-7.
Well, good job by Hamilton Southeastern there. Give those kids a lot of credit. Give coaches a lot of credit. Getting on the board. And even from a building for next week perspective, 28-7 looks a lot better than 28-0.
Yeah, it does. And they've done a fair number of good things on offense here in the second half. The first half, they were largely shut down except for that last possession that they ended up squandering. The second half, they moved the ball fairly well. I mean, Aaron Matthews got 75 yards quietly through the air now, the leading receiver from last season. And, Pori has not been spectacular, but he hasn't made mistakes. He's had a lot of passes that were dropped that could have been caught. So overall, when you consider who the opponent was and everything else, Carter Pori has played fairly well opening his senior season. And, he'll have bigger games this season.
So we'll see. We assume the Royals would just kick it off here, although they may try for the onside kick. You never know.
That'd be, nothing to lose at this case, certainly. So now McLeish off his first extra point of the season. We'll see how he kicks it. Although Carmel doesn't have anybody back deep, so maybe they're anticipating the onsides. Yes, onsides kick, but it is recovered by the Greyhounds at the Carmel 48. 4:20 to go.
Well, that was more a pooch kick than anything else, and unfortunately for the Royals, Carmel able to come down with it. They'll start at the 48, which seems like they spent most of the game starting almost in Southeastern territory.
Well, looking ahead, Hamilton Southeastern opens. They have one final. They have their second non-conference game of the season a week from tonight when they visit North Central, another MIC team. So now Victrup hands off, and he's got about 4 or 5 up the middle. Stephen Watts again, who's had a very big fourth quarter.
Tick, tick, tick goes the clock.
So nice work off the bench here in the fourth quarter for Stephen Watts. He has 5 rushes for 24 yards. Say about Victor, I'm glad I'm getting to cover him, and I'm going to be watching, see how he does at Air Force next year. And so now one receiver at each side. I think we got Meriwether and Walker still out there. So now Watts again gets it. And then he's got a few more up the middle. He's going to be a little short of the first down, but I think he's got about 4. And, so yeah, I think we're going to watch credit for 5 now.
Clock continues to move.
3:21 now.
Yep, 3:21 to play.
So now we got one receiver out to each side again, and watch the running back. Got C.J. Williams now, it looks like, out to the left. And now Watts gets it again. And, he's got the first and more. Now into the game now. Junior quarterback Thomas Stone, he's a junior. Seeing his first action of the game. .250 to go and counting. The Greyhounds very well could run out the rest of this clock at the way they're going.
Right, and Hamilton Southeastern appears to not be using the timeout. So there goes the Channel 13 chopper.
Yeah, so we had 2 helicopters here tonight, and then Watts again now for about another 6 or 7. So Stephen Watts, 8 carries, 45 yards here, all in the fourth quarter, as well as a reception for 14 yards, so 59 all-purpose yards for Stephen Watts. What a great start to his career. Possible future star for this Greyhounds team. So now same formation, one receiver at each side. And Watts gets it again. I guess they're going to give it to him the rest of the game, and I think he has the first. At least it's going to be close to it.
Here's a feel-good announcement for you, Leck.
Yeah.
Michigan City, South Bend, Washington game called with 2:54 left in the second quarter following a fight.
Oh, boy. All right,
How did we not get that to broadcast that game?
I don't know. Guess it's a little out of our range, but a couple of years ago in Kentucky, the KHSAA asked the teams to stop doing handshake lines because they've had so many fights there in handshake lines the last few years. So now Watts again, surprise, surprise, becoming the go-to guy here.
Well, now being 1st and 10, or now 2nd and 4 or 5. They could just take a knee and wrap this thing up if they want to.
Indeed, they can. Yeah. And I will say one thing about Michael Victor. I was glad to see. I'm always, I'm a Swedish American, so I'm always glad to see another Swedish American excel in American sports because there are so few of us. We got Phil Mickelson, Mike Holmgren, Joachim Noah. But that's about it. There aren't many of us. We don't tend to be a very athletic group of people. So anyway, now see Watts gets it again. This time he's up the middle again for another 3 or 4.
Well, and as we wrap up tonight's contest, and this will likely be the final play of the ballgame, Leck, your thoughts on tonight's game?
Well, certainly, obviously, Hamilton Southeastern would have liked to have gotten the win there. It was a tall order coming against this mighty Carmel team, but they did a lot of good things on defense. They did wear down a little bit in the second half. But, overall, I think that they still there are 3 or 4 plays that they can look back on that fundamentally were not sound. But for the most part, I think they played to the maximum of their ability. They just didn't have the horses tonight. But still got 8 games to go to tune up for the playoffs. So I think they're going to get a lot of quality wins this year.
All right, well, 3, 2, and 1. That will do it for our first broadcast of the year. Unlike in Kentucky, they still shake hands here in Indiana.
We're good sports, yes. Us Hoosiers are.
Great job, Leck Zorn, calling tonight's game. I want to thank you very much. I want to say thanks to Brad Silver, Jim Self, the entire athletics staff here at Hamilton Southeastern High School. Thanks to head coach Scott May. We'll talk with him Monday about tonight's contest and look ahead to next Friday when our next broadcast will be on the air, kickoff 7 o'clock, as these Royals travel to North Central. One final time, your score 28-7 is our final for the aforementioned Leck Zorn. I'm Rob Kendall saying so long, everybody.
Good night.